It is time for another Hot Topic Tuesday. It is November 31st, Halloween. And I thought maybe somebody might get dressed up, but everybody dressed up as realtors today from what I'm seeing. So welcome aboard. We are kind of staying on the subject matter of business planning. And, I was working with a couple of our people here today. And one of the things that we kind of hit upon, I'll start with a question because it deals with awareness. My question to you would be this. Do you have the reason that you're doing real estate? Do you know, is it written out or is it in pictures of what you want from real estate? Have you done the dreams, or if you were just listening to Michael and I talking a little bit, have you got your dream boards? Turn those visions into something that you can actually see. Write them down, dream wildly, nothing stands in the way. Do we have those? Because if we have that, then we can think of it from this purpose. Do you have what you need to make to get what it is that you want? So you put your dreams together. Have we calculated out what the financial picture looks like for what we need to make to be able to make all of those things happen? Not only pay what we need, which means I would hope that you figured out your actual bills. How much do you have outgoing every month without you doing anything? But then on top of it, how much money do I need to put away to be able to have or do the things that I want to do? And if you're thinking, well, let's use a trip to Disney. If a trip to Disney would cost you $10,000, that seems like a lofty goal. But let me ask you, if you're actually in production, how many deals would you have to close to be able to make that happen? 2, maybe 3. Guys, that's just extra on top of anything that you may be doing. So we need to know that. But then here would be the next thought. When you get up, could you tell me right now what you need to do? Now let's change that. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. It's Wednesday morning. Can you tell me what you are responsible for doing, what your job description is for tomorrow, for Wednesday? Can you tell me what that is? If you can't, then you're probably the nicest boss that you could give yourself. And your money, your income is not what you could be, what you should be, what you want to be earning to give you what it is that you've decided that you want. But you see, it all starts with the end in mind. What is the vision? Why are you doing real estate, and what would it require for you to have those things that you've now determined? Okay, so I want to introduce you. Some of you are familiar with it, others may not. It is the goal projector. Both brands have the goal projector. They're identical. How you may get to them is the real question. Oh, you would have timed out, wouldn't you? Okay. So, Blue, you get to actually see how to do this. I want to point this out, though. If you can see, I've gone into the HRC Agent Development channel. And in there, I did a search for the goal projector. And when you have this, our very own Bob DeVore has put together a step-by-step instruction on how to get to the goal projector and how to be able to use it. He's done this for both the blue and the gold. Okay, so again, HRC Agent Development Channel on YouTube. I simply up in the search, type goal projector. There's other things that popped up, but right down just third and fourth one in this list became our goal projector for the HRC Agent Development Channel.
Did you say, excuse me for a moment, you guys have
Yeah, go ahead.
your own channel on YouTube? I'm not that familiar with YouTube. Yes, I watch things on it occasionally, but I search out the HRC channel, and once I'm on the channel, then I can scroll through and find the goal projector.
That is it. Yep.
Okay.
So once you're in the channel on YouTube, and this is just specifically what I did directly, Michael, is I then put in goal projector right up here in the search window. And like I say, these two came up third and fourth on the list.
Got it.
All right. And there is another one in there. But again, you'll have these. Bob's got them in there, and it will take you directly to. All right. So with that, what I can tell you guys is I'll do the blue side. You're going to log in. From here, you're going to go to the, CBU Learning Library, or CBU, the Learning Library. You can type in simply goal. And again, Bob's got this in those videos, so don't worry too much about this. I want to expose you to how simple and yet how great this tool is. When you do that, you're going to get the goal projector to come up. We're going to click learn more. And it really took me all the way out, or is it going to give it to me? One thing I can tell you, obviously, be patient. Now, I've already been here before, so I can say resume. It will give you a video with how it works. But what I want you to see is simply, it does this. What are your estimated bills this year? Now, I would strongly encourage you, because with the individuals that I've worked with, I know Alex and Dawn have just taken their coaching clients through this, and there's a little bit of a shocker sometimes as to what your bills really are. You need to calculate these out. Now, it doesn't need to be to the dollar, but you should take a look at what are your outgoing expenses. And don't forget to build in your food, clothing, because those are main staples that you do have to have. Obviously, you're going to take your housing and everything else into consideration. But I'm going to say that let's calculate that out to 40,000, and we're going to do this as if you were the breadwinner. Okay, obviously, if you share expenses, then what are the total expenses? How much do you want to contribute to that? From there, desired savings. Well, I want to put $10,000 away. I want to add that to, say, a IRA. I want to contribute that this year. My real estate expenses, you know, we've been talking about putting together a budget, and it should be anywhere from 5 to 10% that you put in toward marketing and so on. Let's say that's $7,500 in basic expenses. Here's the I want to go to Disney this year. I want to go to Ireland in 3 years. It's going to cost me $5,000 for the next 3 years. I want to put away. And oh, by the way, I want to have money to be able to afford a new car. Therefore, I want to put $6,000 down to be able to buy that new car. All right. So all we've done is some estimates, but we put in what I guess we're really planning our income, and you'll see this in just a few seconds here. The average sale price for the market, I'm going to use, because we have a very varying market, let's use $225,000. And if we're really good, we would make sure that we always got our minimum fee, but let's say the average was 2.75% for our commission per side. And let's say I want to go low on this, but let me go 65% is our take-home split. And obviously, you know, there's varying plans between our company. You know, you would estimate whatever you're getting of that overall commission. From there, it says the average number of appointments needed to result in one transaction. If you're doing this right, you actually know your numbers. But what I can tell you, you're probably, I would use 4 in the beginning, especially if you're new. If you don't know your numbers, definitely use 4. If you're going on appointments with for sale by owners, expireds, if you're out very actively prospecting, it's probably 4. If you're an agent who's been in the business for a while and you're primarily working your sphere, your past clients, you know, hey, that number could be 2 or 3 appointments. But I'm going to use today the number 4. And we then calculate how many weeks are we going to work. I would encourage you, if you are one to be able to meet your goals, if you have a good income, you should take a week off every quarter, refresh, regenerate. You've got to get away from the business as much as possible. And as you grow and you build a team, better yet, you might plan 6 weeks off, because now you've got a team that can handle things while you're away. But let's use 4. That means we're working 48 weeks. The average number of prospecting contacts needed to result in one appointment. Now, this is an interesting one. If we use the chat real quick, I want you to put in what you think that number would be. So everybody just put in the chat, what do you think that number would be? How many contacts would I have to make that would result in one appointment? So here in the office, I hear 20. You guys, this is group participation time. 15. There's 10. Keep going, you guys. I hear more. 10, 15, 15. Keep bringing them. All right. All right. I'm good with that. Now, I can tell you by asking my people here in the office, they would tell you that's a lot higher than that, right? Yeah. Guys, you're not going to like this. But if you are actively talking to people, dropping the question of, have you had any thought of buying or selling, where you're actually talking to a lot of people to identify those that might be making a move, you're probably going to be up more to, here, I'll just show you. You better use at least 50. See, if you're using circle prospecting, because my gosh, I call all the for sale by owners. I talk to 5 people in my sphere of influence. If I talk to any more than that, I'm going to run out of people to talk to, and I'm going to be talking to them again in another month. Well, there's some that you do want to do that, but in the end, you got to talk with a whole bunch of strangers to be able to go find the people who are thinking about selling, so that you can close the number of deals that you need to close until your passive activities start getting people calling and talking to you. But for now, guys, 50. plug that number in. This is going to give you the most realistic number because look, you guys, if it was 10, either, this is not calling anyone out, but I want to show you the reality. If it was only 10 to get an appointment, you'd probably only have to talk to 20 or 30 to get one listing. If you're really good at calling and following up on FSBOs, I would tell you absolutely use 10. If all you're doing is your sphere of influence, past clients, customers, and you're doing all the other right things, I could tell you, yeah, it could be as easy as 10. But right now, if we're looking at building our business and we're not where we want to be and we want to close 20 to 30 deals, we need to talk to probably 50 to get one. As we get better and we track our own numbers, we'll know what that would be. How many days per week will you work? Let's say we're going to put 5 days in to prospecting. So it's not really just the number of days you work per week, but how many will you spend in prospecting? Now, we've got all of our numbers in. Some of them are estimated, unless if we're really great at tracking our numbers. We hit calculate, and now it shows us our commission checks need to total up to 78,500. We get an average commission check, or excuse me, average commission income, yes, per side, 6187. If I'm collecting 65%, so let me go back, our gross commission would be this. If we got this, our average commission check would be about $4,000. I'd need to close 20. Now, by the way, that's all. Take 20 and divide that by 12. Basically, we're talking, do 2 closings a month. That's all you'd have to do. And this is the beauty to the goal projector. When you really simplify it, we're talking 2 a month. That's 1 every 2 weeks. It really becomes simple. And you think, oh my gosh, but I got to go on 80 appointments. Well, guys, that's really only about 1.5 a week. You go on 3 every 2 weeks. Only 3. And some of you are thinking, yeah, but Darwin, I haven't been 1 in a month. Well, do you know or have you known what you've needed to do in the past to make what it is that you want to make? Again, the beauty of the goal projector is it's pointing it out. And as you do this and track your numbers, you'll know specifically what you need to do. So 1.5 a week, 3 every 2 weeks, 83 contacts I need to make every week. And then you're going, are you kidding me? 83 contacts? Well, listen, there's, in most of our areas, there's lots and lots of people for us to talk to. In Rochester, I can look out this window to my right. I could step out and probably in about 45 minutes or less, talk to 83 people. Now, okay, let's call 2 hours and I'd have 83 people. There's a lot of people that walk by here or just go up to Main Street. Be really easy, okay? My point is where are all the humans at who could say yes? Guys, don't overcomplicate. There's the people that you know and all the people that you don't know. And that second group is a lot larger than the people that you know. Once you've talked to the people that you know, based upon the plan you put in place, go talk to everybody else that you don't know. Who's the best people you can talk to that you don't know? For sale by owners. If you haven't heard, FSBO stands not for sale by owners, but the fastest source of business opportunity. Go talk to them. They're telling you they want to move. Expireds are next. What's left after that? Pretty much everybody else. So I got to talk to 83 people. That's my plan. For me to pay myself almost $80,000, My job is really simple. Talk to 83 people every week. I need to go on 3 appointments every 2 weeks. And oh, by the way, this sounds like a lot. Guys, really, if you stepped out on the sidewalk in town, how long would it take you every day to see and ask 16 to 17 people whether or not they've had any thought of making a move in real estate? I can tell you, if your numbers were like what the average is, it would take you about, let's just add that and say it's 3 hours. 3 hours of hardcore prospecting, talking to 5 to 6 people per hour. So if you're one of our mentees that out there and you're prospecting 15 hours, I love it. That's a great number to be spending prospecting. But if you've only had conversations with 15 people, you've talked to one person per hour. You can call me if you need help on how to be able to get that number up. But you should be talking to 5 to 6 people per hour. Actual conversations on a phone, using the text messaging, or getting face-to-face, mano-a-mano, where we have a conversation. So guys, that's what I wanted to deliver to you today. It's really a key part in your strategy for what you do for next year. We need to make it really simple as to what you hold yourself accountable for to make what it is that you want to make so that you can have what you want to have and work in reverse. What are your dreams? How much do I need to make to have that happen? The goal projector lays all of that out and in place for you. Some of you have already done your business plans for 2024. Awesome. What I will tell you is that we've rolled out a new business plan that will not only take your dreams, put them into this onto the new business plan, but the new business plan will help you in regard to your marketing. What are you going to do beyond this to take some of those 16 calls per day and maybe have 1 or 2 calls come into you? Maybe it's 3 or 4 or 5 come into you. What are you going to do on the passive side, actively passive, to be able to make that happen? So with that, I'll open up, see if you've got any questions. I did such a great job. Nobody's got any questions. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Great point, Mike. Guys, I would tell you, what a great point. Yeah, the discussion in here now, that's depressing. So thanks, Mike. Yeah, you need to take out 30%. If you're making, I would tell anybody take out at least 30%. It's really great to have a savings account that Uncle Sam didn't take all 30% that you put away. But you know what? It's really tough to write a check for, I don't know, 4,000, 8,000 to Uncle Sam every quarter. But guys, when you're making 150,000, it's a lot easier to put that aside and to write that check because it's in the bank than it is when you get to the end of the year and you find out, oh my God, I had a great year and I spent all of it. And there's, I'll tell you what, I won't ask for hands, but it's shocking how many real estate agents do experience that. And yep, I was one of them. And it doesn't take much of a jump for you to all of a sudden start owing the federal government money. So make your quarterly tax payments. And yeah, 30% is a great number. Some of you could get away with 10%. Some of you could get away with 20%. But yes, Mike, thank you for that tidbit. It might take, yeah, here's a great one from Danette. It might take 10 to 20 dials, I'm going to put it that way, to actually talk to one person. So in that aspect of, look, you dial, I can tell you that I've coached people who over the years actually had a landline. So when you see this, that's what that is. And this is here. They actually had 2 phones going so that they could get more dials in to get to more people to talk to. So yeah, that's not an exaggeration in any way whatsoever, guys. Look, if you're dialing, you want to knock on doors because we could talk which way's best. We could have a great discussion. What I can tell you is you'll talk to a lot more people using the telephone because you can dial a lot faster than you can walk from one door to the other. But I could also make a great argument for the aspect of knocking on doors because now you've got face-to-face, full-body communication. You got 100% of communication. With the telephone, that phone, your voice has got to carry the entire message. Besides that, you can't see what the person on the other end is doing when you're having those conversations with them. So look, there's advantages to both. But if I can talk to fewer people by going out and knocking on doors, that might be a better way to be able to do it. And again, yes, it does work. Luxury class heard that from one of our best. So yeah. Oh, and by the way, you can do it when it's really cold out. So if you think it's cold now, about in the month of January, it might even be better. Go ahead, Michael.
One of the programs that we utilize here, and I'm not sure how many people are using it, but we've got quite a few. It's called Commissions Inc. And they do have available, it's about 25 bucks a month, but it's an auto dialer. And you sync it up with your phone and it'll literally go right through whoever you have on your list in the system. So I was using it for recruiting purposes and automatically calls everybody. And you can make calls, you'd be surprised in 10 minutes how many calls you can knock out. I mean, you can easily probably do 50 calls in an hour, I would say, maybe even a little bit more than that. And I don't know if that auto dialer feature is something that you could possibly use on anything that you guys are using. You know, if you have another, I'm not sure, we're still kind of new to the whole family, the whole company here, but you know, that might be something to look into if that's an option on one of the programs you might be utilizing.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the way I would put it, guys, is look for tools that will help you make more contacts. Talk with your managers. Do some brainstorm during a team meeting. You know, share with each other. There's loads of ideas and things that we can do to talk to people because, again, let's simplify real estate. It's go talk to people, human beings who could say yes. Let's not overcomplicate it. If we don't talk to people, we don't make money. There's only 2 groups, people that you know and everybody you don't know. How you talk to them really doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, it doesn't matter if we pick up the phone and we go talk to them, or if we do the things that get them to come talk to us. What's really bad is, guys, I want you to look in the mirror. Don't answer this. Answer it within yourself. Have you been talking to people? Have you even talked to 5 a day? Have you talked to 5 people with a specific identification of them having any thought of buying or selling real estate? Now, if you haven't been doing that, then on the other side of how do we get people to talk to is being actively passive. What have you done actively preset to get people to call and talk to you? If the answer was no, I haven't been talking to 5, specifically asking, and I haven't been doing anything specifically to get people to call and talk to me, I'm pushing when I ask this. Why are you in the business? Jamie, I always love you. You're smiling at me every time I get those deep thoughts. Yeah. How many of us thought this would be really easy? It's not, guys. It's easy, but it requires hard work. And the hard work is we've got to simply enjoy talking to a whole lot of people. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the key, and that's the crutch to this business. So guys, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Your branch managers are putting on or have done business planning sessions. Is a minimum. I want you to dream and write it down. These are the dream sheets. As a minimum, put that together. Or without that, why would you do these things that are not fun? You got to have a reason to do it so they become fun and rewarding. I would ask you to transfer those individuals, make it pictures, bring in your 5 senses that you see every day for those things that you want. Put a number to what you have to make to have that happen. To put those numbers together, use the goal projector. Break it down to the number of minutes that you need to do on a daily basis. Just talk to the people you need to talk to set the appointments you need to talk to get the contract signed that you need to contract, so that you can make the money that you want to make, so that you can have your dreams. Transfer them over to the new business plan. Complete the business plan. Very basic in marketing. And keep it simple. When you start to complicate it, that's typically when we don't continue to move forward. And now we're not hitting our numbers, either actively or being actively passive. So guys, thank you for joining me today. That brings another end to a Hot Topic Tuesday. I'll let you know, no Hot Topic Tuesday next week. We will not be on Hot Topic Tuesday. Oh, come on, it's not that exciting. These guys are celebrating here. No Hot Topic next week, because what I'm anticipating is you guys are here with me today. Be at Ignite next week. There are still a few slots open. I had an opportunity, as did your managers, to hear from our keynote speaker, Hal Elrod, who is the author of The Miracle Morning. As a non-reader, it was one book that I thoroughly enjoyed, and I actually read and went through a book club with a number of agents. Guys, well, you think it's an author. How exciting can it be? Well, for those of us that saw him, it was rather refreshing to hear his energy over a Zoom call. I can only imagine what he's going to be like when he's live with us in the room, and he can feed off of the audience that will be for him. Guys, come in and get a great share. I would hope it'll be motivational, not for a day, but for a career. So be there for Ignite. If you haven't signed up for it, you must just go do it. And with that, guys, we'll put a wrap to it. I ended up longer than I thought. See ya next week. Ignite. Ignite. You guys have a great one. Bye-bye.